सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम हज़रत सैयदे वुल्दे आदम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम सब नबियों में अफजल व अकरम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम।
Assalamu alaikum. We're gathered here today at the 68th annual Jalsa Salana of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, and I have several Lajna sisters with me, Sister Rashida Ahmed, Sister Bushra Latif, and Sister Sabaha Ali. So first I'd like to ask all of you just to briefly say where you came from.
I came from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I flew here from Racine, Wisconsin.
Okay, and Sabaha?
And I flew here from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
And I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. So we have representation here from the East, West, and the Midwest, which is nice. So we've all come from quite a distance. And why is it that Jalsa was important for you to come from Wisconsin to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania?
Jalsa is very important because it was established by the promised Messiah, alayhi salam, and I personally find it spiritually reinvigorating, and I enjoy hearing the speeches, and I also enjoy seeing my Muslim brothers and sisters from around the country.
And Sabaha?
I agree with what Sister Bushra said, but also Promised Messiah alayhi salam has said that this is not an ordinary convention, and so it's such a wonderful opportunity to hear the different speeches, such varying and important topics, and gain that knowledge. And again, meeting everybody, your old friends and new friends, is a wonderful experience.
And Rashida?
Just as the sisters have said, I find it very spiritually uplifting to be able to pray in such a large gathering, listen to the speeches, and I always learn so much from my experience. And I also would say that there's tremendous amount of blessings that I've always experienced from participating in Jalsa, and it's just been very wonderful.
And I know you've had a unique experience in that you lived in Africa for a while and attended Jalsa Salana there. So what similarities do you see between Jalsa in Africa and here in the United States?
Well, actually, I attended Jalsa in Nigeria and in Ghana. If I wanted to reflect on my experience in Ghana, I would say it's just very similar. You're just in a different country, but that's just the beauty of Ahmadiyya, that wherever you go, we sort of have this feeling of sisterhood and brotherhood. But one distinct difference that I can recall is just sheer numbers. Because in Ghana, for example, it's probably 3 times larger than what it is, or even more than it is in the United States. So they do quite a tremendous job of managing so many people.
And Bushra, I know you have a 12-year-old daughter who's come with you and has been coming with you every year. And what do you do to instill love of Jalsa in her heart?
Well, as you mentioned, she comes with me every year, so we really make it a point to attend every Jalsa if we can, and so that she experiences Jalsa every year. We also talk about the blessings on our way here. We talk about the blessings of Jalsa, and our family is spread throughout the country, and we get to unite with them at Jalsa. So we talk about how Jalsa really is a blessing, and it brings us all together with other brothers and sisters. And then we make it a point to try and attend other Jalsas and watch other Jalsas internationally on MTA.
And Sabaha, you're the National General Secretary, and so I know you have been very busy preparing for the Jalsa. But what some people may not see is, other than the speeches, they may not be aware of the booths and exhibitions that are on the Lajna side. So can you just give us a little information about that?
Absolutely, Auntie. So like you said, there's so much more to experience here. So some of the booths are more strictly like educational. There's the review of religions booth. And this year there's the True Islam. So if sisters haven't had an opportunity to go and sign up for the True Islam campaign, that's a wonderful opportunity for them to take advantage. There's a number of different booths for such as the Waqf Now, the Lajna 15 to 25, and the Ahmadiyya Women in Science, where you can go and see what they've been doing throughout the year and different ways to get involved from that standpoint. And then probably our most popular booths, of course, are the ones where you can purchase different items. So there's the exhibition stall, there's the fundraising, and then the bookstore where you can purchase books as well.
And how much effort has gone into this? Like, we come here and we enjoy ourselves. I know you've been working in the background as many people, so about how long does it take to prepare for something like this?
Yeah, absolutely. So the planning and the various formation of the committees and things like that starts months in advance. Volunteers start arriving as early as Tuesday and Wednesday on site to start setting up and making sure that the booths and the halls and the ziyafat area, everything is set up and ready to welcome the guests of the Promised Messiah as they arrive.
Okay, and I think that's key for those of us who've gone to UK Jalsa. It's kind of the standard of hospitality, but I know it's something we strive to emulate here in the United States as well to make everybody feel comfortable. And I know when Sabaha was talking about the science booth, I know that that's been something fun for the kids in the past as well. Do you remember any of the experiments that they might have had?
I don't particularly remember any of the experiments, but I do recall it being very fun, and my daughter enjoys participating in the different activities, so we'll have to make sure we stop by there this time.
And anybody else have anything to add? Anything they'd like to share about their Jalsa experience or things you're looking forward to?
Well, there's so much to consider, but I certainly enjoy coming to Tahajjud prayer and Fajr prayer. It's a small group of us usually at that time, but there's so many immense blessings in that earnest attempt to really make that connection with Allah through those prayers, and so I really enjoy that quite a bit. Also, my granddaughters, they'll be here and they get to participate in some of the children's activities, so they really enjoy that as well.
And how old are your grandchildren?
My granddaughters have one that's 5 years and and her sister is 3 years old.
So you're starting really early, instilling that love and excitement about Jalsa.
Inshallah, yes, absolutely.
Very good. Okay, anybody else?
I'm excited to be volunteering, and that's another thing I try to do every year is make sure I'm volunteering at the Jalsa and really actively participating in the volunteering. And it's exciting that as a volunteer we can still hear the proceedings of the Jalsa and gain from the spiritual blessings as well.
Okay, well, I'd just like to thank everybody for coming and sharing their experiences with us, and hope you have a blessed Jalsa experience, and look forward to seeing you all walking around the Jalsa, inshallah.
Jalsa Mubarak,
Thank you.
inshallah.